I did, yes. Beckham. It's a four-part documentary series all about the highs and lows of football stardom. But it's not just about the glamour and the trophies, and that's something that really struck me when I watched the first few episodes. It really delves into some of the difficult issues too, like the abuse that David suffered after being sent off at the World Cup in 1998. I spoke to him and started by asking about why he wanted to put out a documentary 10 years after retiring. David, why was now the right time to release this docu-series, and were you ever fearful about having to relive some of those toughest moments?
To be honest, when I retired 10 years ago, people started to ask me if I was going to do a documentary about my life and my career. And in all honesty, I wasn't ready to look back. I wasn't ready to kind of go over things. And there'd been so much going on that I wasn't ready to also process that. But then, obviously, heading towards the 10-year anniversary of me retiring, something felt right about doing it. Of course, you know, I found it challenging going back and looking at these things that I'd probably never even thought about before and never even processed. And I think that was the tough part for me, you know, going over things like, you know, 98. You know, there was so much about that at that time that was difficult. But really, I was so protected by Sir Alex Ferguson, Manchester United, the fans, my teammates, that really I just got on with my football.
You mentioned your family. We see lots of them in the media now, but you did your best to protect them when they were very young, especially given how invasive the paparazzi could be.
Yeah, you know, me and Victoria had it, you know, at that time where certain things were allowed to happen, and you know, we went through that, of course, but you know, it made us stronger as a couple. So then when we did have children, we were able to protect them in a way that, you know, we'd already been through that. So of course, that was really hard. But we're so proud of our children, because even though they've grown up around, you know, this circus, you know, they're very humble, they're very kind, and they're very good human beings, even at the young ages that they are. So we're very proud of that.
Just lastly, personally, I'm a big fan of all the hairstyles and the fashion choices, but when you watch the archive back, any regrets?
You know what? There's no regrets. Do I look back and think, what was I doing? Of course. There were certain moments where I think, how did I get away with that? Or what was I thinking about? But you know what? It was right at the time. It felt right at the time, and I did it. The problem was, every time that I did, you know, for instance, the Mohawk, I did the Mohawk, and instead of just having like an average game for England, I go and score a great free kick, and it's, you know, it's more highlighted. So that happened, you know, quite often, but I have no regrets about any of the haircuts.
Well, the director of the series, Fisher Stevens, came as a personal recommendation from Leonardo DiCaprio. The series is out on Netflix tomorrow.
We should have Joe in Mayfair.